Alright, I am going to try to stream again now that I've discovered the software and game development category on Twitch. I was searching for things like programming and coding, and not software. So I'm gonna see if I can't get more people to tune into my stream by having an actual category that makes sense. Stream manager's up. Let's test the volume. Okay, that seems to be good. Don't like the positioning of the dog here. That, I think that looks better. Um, okay, cool. I'm gonna start doing some coding problems. See if any of the Night Owl programmers tune in. Okay, duplicate encoder. The goal of this exercise is to convert a string into a new string where each character in the new string is parenthesis, open parenthesis, if that character appears only once in the string, or interesting, close parenthesis, if that character appears more than once in the original string. Ignore capitalization when determining if a character is a duplicate. All right, I think I have some ideas on how to get this to work. Okay, here's what we can do. We can have a dictionary. Which will contain, well, let's see. I'm going to do it this way and then think about if that is the best way to do it. So for character in Word, if character in dict of character equals parenthesis, close parenthesis if it's in it more than once, I believe. Yes, and then else dict of character equals open parenthesis. And then what we can do is new string equals, and then iterate over the string again. So for car in Word, new string plus equals, oh yeah, just dict of car, turn new string. Let's test it. Oh, should ignore case. Interesting. Should ignore case. Oh. Okay, so that's easy. That's just word equals word dot lower. Test it. Seems to be good. Let's send it. And we got them, ladies and gentlemen. I'd be curious to know what some of the other solutions are. I think it's going to take me there. The dot join. Okay. A lot of these, if word dot join is equals 1, else. Yeah, a lot of these Code Wars solutions that are like heavily upvoted with like best practices and clever. I don't know. They seem to value the one-liners a lot. Um, but often I find that the one-liners force them to make use of things like dot count on each iteration of or for each item in the word. So what's happening here is this becomes an O of n squared solution or algorithm instead of just an O n. Because count, I believe, has to go through the entire string every time. So really, it only has one four. But really, it's two fours. It's a two nested fours because for every C, we're going to iterate through the entire string again. And that kind of frustrates me because I'll think that I'm struggling on a problem because I am trying to care about time complexity. Then I come up with a solution and feel dumb because it took me so long. And then I'll go look at the top solutions. And it's like, I don't know, man. In the grand scheme of things, the strings that were input are probably no longer than like 10, maybe 100 characters. I didn't really pay attention, so it probably doesn't matter. But I don't know. I like to make things optimized in terms of time complexity, especially on these easier problems. It's not really much of a challenge in it anyway. So you might as well give it a try. Oh well, on to the next one. Well, counter, I don't know these counter. I guess counter is from collections. Oh, so it gives you, basically it generates the dictionary. Well, no, it didn't generate the dictionary I generated. My dictionary was just of mapping characters to the output character, whereas this is creating a dictionary where each key is the character and then each value is the number of times that appears in it. Um, which could be O of n. Oh, okay, yeah, so this guy is saying the same thing as me. This solution is O of n instead of O n squared, like the methods that use .count, because .count is O of n being used within an O n method. The space complexity is increased with this method. Sure, right, because you have to store um, the dictionary, essentially. I wonder if there's a way to keep the... Probably, potentially not. It's possible that the... And that's fair enough. You really have to decide what you're optimizing on. Um, Never really ran into a problem where I cared about space optimization. Time optimization, time complexity optimization is, at least in my experience, the main issue. It's possible that I'm just spoiled and I'm a modern programmer who has access to 64 gigs of RAM or 32 gigs of RAM on just my virtual machine because my host machine has 64 gigs of RAM. So perhaps I'm spoiled as far as space goes, um, and I just value time more. Uh, I say as I stream and rant about coding problems. All right, let's try another one. Anyone join me? No, that's okay. Shortest word. Simple. Given a string of words, return the length of the shortest words. String will never be empty, so you don't need to account for different data types. Oh, I really need to up the difficulty on these guys. But it's also 9:30 for me, so it's kind of late. And tomorrow's not an off Friday for me. Word length. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is smallest string none, then while, or rather for word in s dot string of words, what do the words? So, okay, yeah, so s dot split on the space character. And then if smallest string or is none or none, then smallest string equals word. And then at that point you could just not break but continue. If length of word, I'll call this small word, is less than, ooh, I wonder if they're what's the logic they want? And the length of the shortest words. Oh, okay. Smallest length equals, we can do none here. If smallest length is none, smallest length equals length of word I'm not going to use continue, I'll just do an else if, well, elif length of word is less than smallest length, smallest length equals length of word. Then return smallest length. Actually call this length of word potentially multiple times, so I'm just going to do that here. Above, no, I can't do that. Word equal, or len equals word, and I here, 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 and test that. Yeah, that one's another pretty simple. Dogecoin, Fatcom, Darkcoin, Ethereum, Mine, Litecoin, Darkcoin. The person who wrote this is a fan of crypto. Rip in peace, my dude. It sounds like you're having a hard time. Min of Land of X. Sure, that's one way to do it. It's not O of n squared, but it'd be like O of 2 of n. Or mine would be like just O of n because I only iterate over it once. Here it has to do the iteration twice. Oh no, that's not true. This is effectively the same thing calling them min. Because it's not creating the list and then iterating over it. It is just iterating over it with that syntax, so that's fair. Cool, okay, pretty straightforward. Only one viewer. I wonder if the stream manager counts that, because I always seem to have one more viewer than I pretty sure I actually have. Take a 10 minutes walk. Oh, it's getting late. I was hoping to see if I could get more viewers. I don't know. Do I need to like optimize my tags, my categories? What category does it say I have? It should be software and game development. My tags are fine. Oh well, I like coding anyway. It's easy content. I could do this like every day if I wanted to. I feel like that's sort of the approach to when you're starting off small. Is just be consistent, make content as often as possible. Not necessarily bad content, but I mean, I'm live programming, but I can't do it better than I currently am unless I get better at coding. Alrighty, is valid walk? Determine if walk is valid. You live in the city of Cartesia where all roads are laid out in a perfect grid, also known as the Great City of Phoenix, Arizona. You arrived 10 minutes early to an appointment, so you decided that to take the opportunity to go for a short walk. The city provides its citizens with a walk. City provides its citizens with a walk generating app on their phones. Okay, that's not the city of Phoenix. They don't provide their citizens with anything. Every time you press the button, it sends you to an array of one-letter strings representing directions to walk. North, south, east, west. You always walk on a single block for each letter direction and you know it takes 1 minute to traverse one city block. So you create a function that will return true if the walk app gives you, will take you exactly 10 minutes. Oh, this isn't the problem I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be verify that the walk it gives you takes you back to, oh, yeah, okay. And it will, of course, return to your starting point. Return false otherwise. Okay, so takes you 1 minute to traverse one city block. Okay, so 10 minutes exactly. That's easy. I just need to check the length. So if length of walk is greater than exactly 10 minutes, so equals 10, well, not equals, so that I can just return early. Return false. But then, if not, it's not good enough. Well, that's annoying. If the length of the walk is exactly 10 minutes, that's fine, but we still need to check if we arrive in the same spot. So this is basically like a vector type thing. So what I can do is position equals 0, 0, right? So this is, I'm assuming my starting position is 0, 0, and I'm going to see, okay, well, do my north and south inputs negate each other, go back to 0? Do my east and west outputs in total, or intervals in total negate to 0? So, yeah, that's easy. For step in walk, if step equals, I could do a bunch of if statements, but I can also make this a dictionary, right? So, let's call it steps or blocks, I guess, where we're going on blocks. Blocks equals dictionary. North, I'm going to call +1. South, I'm going to call, or set that equal to -1. East, I'll do +1, which is actually consistent. The signs are consistent with certain coordinate systems where north is positive, the x-axis, east is positive, the y-axis. Then for a right-handed coordinate system, down would be positive in the z-axis. Northeast. But we don't have to worry about up, down here. West is going to be -1. All right, so I don't know if I helped myself with block because I still need to check if it's oh, I can tag on a direction, right? So here I've assigned the negative or the magnitude. I also assigned the direction in a sense, right? So 1 for the magnitude, then 0 to make this a tuple for the direction, where the direction is really an index in my position vector. So that way I don't have to check. And then this one would be 1, and this one would be 1 for the direction. Okay, yeah, I actually don't hate that. So I don't have to have a bunch of if statements now. I can just do block I'll just call it vector here for uh, item in walk vector. It's not really a vector, but it kind of is because it's a magnitude and a direction. So I'm going to call it a vector. Equals blocks of item, right? And then it's going to be position of vector. I'll extract the direction. And then plus equals the magnitude. So vector of 0. And then you just check if position of 0 equals 0. Position of 0. And both of them have to equal 0. Position of 1 equals 0. That should do it. Easy, easy. That's interesting. Man, I am tired. I think I'll do one more. I call it. No one's joining. No one's hanging out with me. It's okay. What is this? Jaden Smith, the son of Will Smith, is a star of films such as The Karate Kid 2010 and After Earth 2013, and is also known for some of his philosophy that he delivers via Twitter. Okay, now I'm curious. Oh, he just a link to his Twitter. Yeah, I don't really or care what his philosophy is. When writing on Twitter, he's known for almost always capitalizing every word. Interesting. For example, if you'll have to capitalize for simplicity, you'll have to capitalize each word. Check out how contractions are expected in the example. Expect to be in the example below. Your task is to convert strings that would be written by Jaden Smith. Strings are actual quotes from Jaden Smith, but they're not capitalized in the same way he originally typed them. How can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real? Real eyes, real eyes, real eyes. Okay. That should actually be really easy. Gonna give it the old new string equals quotes for word in string dot split on the space character. Oh, yeah, no, not, new words. I'm gonna make that a list. This probably could be a one-liner, maybe. We'll see what this looks like. So for word and string, new words dot append. Just gonna be word of 0 dot upper, and then the rest of the word. Word of 1 and on, and then just simply join on space after the fact dot join new. That probably, well, return. Probably does indeed. But this is a one-liner if I've ever seen a one-liner. I'm gonna comment that out so I can reference it. Actually, can I all comment on here? No, I can't. That's kind of. All right, return dot join. Basically, this for loop is just gonna get turned into a generator expression here. So f of word of 0 dot upper or parentheses or more brackets on for word in string dot split all space. Yeah, that's a one-liner for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and submit. Ooh, one error. Multiple errors. Oh, do the rest of them have to be? Okay, so then that's just dot lower. Failed to do. The next string out of range. Oh, the string is empty. Uh, I do that word of on. Well, that's dumb. So my one-liner becomes a multiple-liner. Because I don't know how to do the fancy one-line if statement. So if string line of string. Oh, I don't like it. Zero turn empty string. That's kinda dumb. Oh well. Submit it. Okay, I think that's it for me. Y'all have a good one. By y'all, I mean myself, because no one else is here.